Welcome to Coffee and Coaching with Caryn. Grab your favorite mug, sit back, and enjoy. Now here's your host, Caryn Fitzgerald.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Coaching with Caryn. I am super excited because today we have a coach, a businesswoman, and an award-winning entrepreneur who specializes in training business owners to create seven-figure habits so they can grow their own seven-figure business and create a matching bank account. Cheryl Cook is the CEO of Small Biz Big Results, and she is here with us this morning to share her words of wisdom. Good morning, Cheryl.
Hey, Caryn. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much. I am very excited because I know a little bit about what you're going to share. I've had a little sneak preview, and I just want to express my gratitude to you for being here and for sharing this, because I know what you're sharing is extremely powerful information. So thank you again.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure.
So let's jump right in. Let's talk about those seven-figure habits. How are seven-figure habits different from other habits?
Well, I always start out asking folks, we all have habits. The question is, are yours creating seven-figure businesses or not? And that always gives people a little bit of a pause to go, yeah, well, maybe I don't have the right habits. I mean, we all know we have habits that probably don't serve us all the time. Like, I'll have to admit, I'm even doing this bright shiny object challenge right now. And if you have ever been distracted by bright shiny objects, I was in fact trying to focus this morning, and I was distracted by a bright shiny object post. So it is, interesting that no matter how we think we have put some really good habits in place, we'll all have that momentary or maybe longer getting on Facebook and being distracted by the things that we shouldn't be. So seven-figure habits, in fact, one of the things that I recommend to folks that I talk to is to simply ask yourself, what would that person I want to be, how would they do it? So you can do that even when you're thinking about your habits. It's really, if you've never thought about how seven-figure habits might be different than yours, just being aware of what you're doing and asking yourself, is this a seven-figure habit? And then you can ask yourself, that person that I want to be, I can see them. I know how they act, how they think. How would they think about seven-figure habits? And another way to phrase that as well is to say, now that I've made seven-figure habits, what would I be telling myself today? What would that person in the future be telling myself today?
Those are some very powerful questions.
And those simple questions, right?
They are very simple questions. And you're right, seven figures does not happen. I haven't had the experience where you can just magically wave your wand and go to the bank and they say, here, yes, your bank account is overflowing seven figures. And absolutely. It's the daily habits, and that's extremely powerful. So let's play with the chicken or the egg. Okay. Which comes first? Is it the seven-figure habit or is it the seven-figure business?
Well, when you think about getting six-pack abs, we're coming up, but on a time when you start to think about what's your resolution for the new year. And folks go, well, I'm going to get six-pack abs, or I'm really going to get in shape this year. And once I get in shape, then I'll go to the gym. Really? Maybe you haven't found yourself saying that, but I have actually had people say to me, well, when I get a little bit bigger, then I'll work with you.
Wow.
Really? Is that how it works? I don't think so. You need to go to the gym first before you get those six-pack abs. And, oftentimes, people talk about the hard work. And honestly, you're going to work hard one way or another. Why not work hard at getting 7-figure habits?
That's extremely interesting because most people probably don't ask themselves that question. Most people probably focus on, and I'm just guessing here, the routine of the daily habits they've had for years and haven't made the conscious choice and a conscious decision to do something differently. Is that something that you see in your business? People who aren't making conscious choices and now they come to you saying, okay, I'm ready. It's time.
Well, absolutely. We all have those unconscious habits. I remember when I moved from one home to another home. And yet, when I drove on the freeway, I got off at the old exit because I had an unconscious habit of getting off the freeway at a particular exit. Now, it didn't take me too long, thankfully. It didn't take me too many times of getting off at the wrong exit to go, duh, this is a habit that I have, and I need to go off to the next exit, get off at a different exit. So we think sometimes, oh, habits are just so hard to put in place. But, really, it only took a couple of times for me to create a new habit of getting off at a new exit. So in fact, habits don't have to be hard. I mean, I've done these 30-day ab challenges, or a squat challenge. So in 30 days, we got up to doing 250 squats in one day. A lot of squats, right?
Ouch.
But by the end of the 30-day challenge, it wasn't that big a deal. But I found it easier in my particular schedule, in my frame of mind, to do my squats at the end of the day. Doesn't work for everybody. But I would be laying in bed thinking, oh, I forgot to do my squats. And I'd hop out of bed and I'd do my squats for the day and then get back in bed and promptly fall asleep. And you think about some of your bad habits. I don't imagine somebody who's smoking cigarettes is going to go at the end of the day go, oh crap, I forgot to smoke those 5 cigarettes. We just simply don't do that with our bad habits. They become unconscious. So yeah, new habits do take a little bit of focus, do take a little bit of concentration, but there's some easy ways to put habits into place.
Oh, wow. I love that. And we're going to take a very quick break. And when we come back, Cheryl, I'm going to ask you to share a little bit about how people can put these new habits into place. So we will be right back with Coffee and Coaching with Caryn after these messages.
Are you looking for quality entertainment and activities for the entire family? Then come on down to the Plaza Theater Company and Plaza Academy Dance Studio, located in Cleburne, Texas. The Plaza Theater Company is an award-winning community theater that presents 10 productions a year, performing every single weekend. If you have a child that enjoys acting, dancing, or singing, then you can enroll them in the Plaza Academy Dance Studio. For more information, visit plaza-theater.com or call 817-202-0600.
Hey Lily, do you have lines, wrinkles, or low energy?
Yeah, I do.
Well, change it all now. Look and feel younger from the comfort of your own home today.
How?
Visit 10yearsyounger.now.com for your free personal consultation.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
And we're back. Good morning. You are listening to Coffee and Coaching with Caryn, and my guest this morning is Cheryl Cook, who is the CEO of Small Biz Big Results, and she's an award-winning entrepreneur who specializes in training business owners to create 7-figure habits so they can create and grow their own 7-figure business and matching bank account. And before the break, Cheryl, we were talking about habits. And we talked about some that we should eliminate, such as cigarettes. But there are some specific habits that we should put into place. Isn't that correct? Is that where we were when we left off?
That's right. That's right. Well, and you might not think, oh, well, I don't smoke cigarettes, so I don't have to worry about that habit. Well, we're actually talking about some habits we have in our business. Let me just see if some of these resonate with you that are listening. Maybe you respond to every single text message immediately. Yes, no, yeah. Does your computer beep at you all the time? Or does your phone beep at you? Yeah. Have you ever been into Starbucks and heard someone else's phone kind of go bloop, bloop all the time? They're getting notifications. Do they need that notification right then? It's oftentimes that someone posted on Facebook in response to another similar post that you liked or something. So it's not anything you need to know, and especially as a seven-figure business owner. Is that something you need to know all the time? Do you answer the phone every time it rings? Hello? People don't expect you to be available 24/7. I feel like, it's great sometimes when my clients feel like they're the only client I have.
That's a great feeling. That speaks volumes of you. That speaks volumes of how you make your clients feel, which is a wonderful thing.
It is. But honestly, if I can answer the phone every time someone calls, how successful is that business owner? And here's one that I think most of us have at one time or other been able to raise our hand on and say, yes, that's me. You're the guru. You have all the answers. No one can do it better than you. No one can do it faster than you. You have to do it all, right?
Oh my, there's a couple of things in there that I've been guilty of, and some of them I'm working on, and some of them I've been able to overcome, but those are big ones. You're right.
Yeah, they are. So, if we think about somebody who's obviously a gazillionaire, someone like Richard Branson, does his day look different than yours? I mean, there's all kinds of demands on his time as well. But think about who's in control of his day and who determines how his day is spent. Does he ever have any fires to put out? Something unexpected? Yeah. It's not about having a perfect day, but it's about you starting out in control.
Can you expand? I know you've shared a lot. That word control, because sometimes for some people that can have a negative connotation, and for others it can be a positive thing. Can you share how that word control fits in a positive light for us as business builders?
Sure. So I recommend that everyone start off their business day, by asking themselves this one question. What's the most important thing I can do today to move closer to my goals? It's not what are the 10 things on my to-do list that I'm going to try and get done today. When you think about the things that are on your to-do list, they all are deadline driven. But rarely is building your business deadline driven. Absolutely. Yeah, you want a seven-figure bank account today, but making your plan for the new year doesn't have a deadline with a consequence on it. Well, if you don't get quite done, or you think about it, come January 1st, you're not going to be prepared for the new year. But the IRS isn't going to come knocking on your door because you didn't get your plan done. So the things that are on our to-do list are simply those that have usually a deadline attached to them. And rarely are they connected at all to reaching our goals.
That's an interesting statement.
So
expand on that.
I used to have a to-do list miles long. In fact, I used to refer to it as volume 1 and volume 2. So one day I say it was by mistake, but maybe not by mistake. I hit the dismiss all button on my computer.
Uh-oh.
And was it the end of the world? No.
Oh.
Because all of those to-dos were made up of should do, ought to do, might one day do, would like to do, but they weren't helping me achieve any goals. I was really good at doing a to-do list, but I wasn't reaching my goals. So I had to go, what's going on here? So I really manage my business life by my goals. What are my goals for this week? So based on what are my goals this week, that translates to what action steps do I have to take to achieve those goals. I don't have any control over you deciding to put money in my pocket. I don't have any control over that. That said, I may have a dollar goal, a revenue goal, but I honestly don't have any control over you deciding to transfer dollars to my bank account. I have control over the actions I take. I have control over the words that I say and the way that I listen to you and the way that I can translate what you have as a problem and how I can solve that for you. And then it's totally, my job is not to sell you something. My job is to help you make a decision. The decision can be yes, the decision can be no. But again, I don't control you making a decision to put dollars in my pocket. I don't control my actions. So I have goals, but I'm going to be in control each day of what are the activities I can do that I believe will lead me closer to my goals.
Wow. I'm just totally blown away by how simple this sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And
But it starts with you being in control. It starts with you deciding how your day is going to go. And this works for you whether you are a business owner or you're an employee or you're a stay-at-home mom or whatever position you have. Everyone, I believe, is the CEO of a company called Me Incorporated.
I
If
love it.
if you aren't looking out for yourself, who is? You think the boss cares as much about you as they do about their business or about their job? No. So even, folks who are often in sales positions, oh, well, I got to check my email first thing every morning and see what people want. Does that get you closer to your goal? What's the goal that you're working towards this year? Aren't you adding value to the company in some way? So what would you do if you were to decide today what activity would get you closest to achieving your goals? I found that just by looking at my email first thing, what I was doing was answering other people's agenda items, and they weren't necessarily on my agenda. I was brought up to be a nice girl so that when I get a call from a sales account rep for a company that wanted me to buy something from their company, I would, like a good girl, return their phone call, even though I had no intention of buying from them. I thought it was a polite thing to do to return every phone call. Well, honestly, they called unsolicited. Their agenda was different than mine, and their product was not on my agenda. So I gave myself permission not to return every phone call. So it's choosing, just remember your email, your phone numbers, all of those, that's someone else's agenda. Yes, you can choose to respond to them, but choose to respond to them. I like to work on my business when my brain cells are at their peak. I don't want to wait till the end of the day when I've used up my brain cells and I'm burnt out and I'm tired. I don't want to wait till the end of the day to give my business leftovers. So it's like when you fly and they tell you when those masks fall out of the ceiling, that you have to put yours on first before you can help anyone else.
Exactly.
If you're not helping your business with your best brain cells, how can you ever imagine that you could help other folks? If you don't have a thriving, growing business yourself, how can you imagine that you have things to, if you're not there, those folks, I truly believe there's folks that can only hear what you have to say. Caryn and I could say the same thing, but Caryn's going to say it in a different way than I do. And you might have heard me say something and go, yeah, I've heard that before. But then you hear Caryn say it, and she'll say it in such a way that you go, holy Toledo, that's the first time I've ever heard that. And Caryn's going, I just said what Cheryl said. But there's folks that can only hear your voice. And so when you don't take care of your business, when you don't grow your business, when you say, I don't really want a 7-figure business, it's all about the money, what you just said is those folks out there who can only hear your voice, you just said those folks don't matter. And I don't believe that any of you really think that. I know that you do what you do because you have a passion, because you are heart-centered, because you want to help folks.
Exactly.
So for me to say that and put that in your face and say, you're saying folks don't matter? If you're saying I don't want to work on my business, I don't want to go for 7 figures.
Cheryl, you are just an incredible woman. I
Well,
love your authenticity and the clarity with which you speak. I absolutely love that. And we're going to take just a quick break, and then when we come back, I want to hear about some secrets, because I know there's some secrets to jumpstarting these efforts. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Coffee and Coaching with Caryn.
Looking to monetize your passions? Ready to get paid for doing what you love? Contact Caryn at coffeeandcoachingradio@gmail.com and get creative strategies for developing income while doing what you love.
Need a little more happiness in your life? Here you go. The Happiness Recipe Podcast to the rescue. Listen each week as June Klein and Sandy Weaver Carmen share wit, wisdom, and wonderful food with their guests. Guaranteed to add happiness to your life. happinessrecipe.net.
Welcome back. We are on Coffee and Coaching with Caryn, and my guest this morning is Cheryl Cook, CEO of Small Biz Big Results. And we are talking about creating a 7-figure habit, 7-figure business, and the bank account to match it all. So Cheryl, before the break, we were talking about habits, and I said we'd love to hear some secrets. So first I'm going to ask you, because we all know there's a magic pill for this, right? Can you share that magic pill? What's the magic pill?
I am all about fast and immediate results, and I just love the idea that there could be a drive-through you could go through to get to success. This past summer, I rode across Iowa on my bicycle, and one of the overnight towns we stopped at was this small town that had a small community college in it. And they had a media center that we went into. And as I was walking around this community college, in one of the hallways, I saw over one of the doorways, it said, Success Center. And I was like, if that were as easy as it could be, you could just walk through the door for success. I thought, this is great. But true thing is that what I think is a secret, you would say, Cheryl, I've been doing that forever. You didn't know that? And what you think is a secret, I would be saying, Caryn, I've been doing that since I was 4 years old. What's the deal? So, if you look at the gurus, they will say there are anywhere from 3 to 67 secrets to success. And, Jack Canfield had 67 success principles. They are great, but 67? Yeah. Tony Robbins says there are 4 keys to success. So there are 3 things that I think if you would take a look at just these 3 things, it would really jumpstart what you're doing. First thing is you've got to know where you're going. We talked about that a little bit in terms of a goal. So I've got to have a goal. I've got to have, when we get in our car and put an address in our GPS, you have to put in a specific address, not just somewhere on 4th Street. It has to be specific. So make your goals specific. And even if you say, oh yeah, I know this, but are you really doing this? Have you really written it down? Make it specific. I always say, make it clear enough so a 4th grader can tell if you have reached your goal. Is it that clear? The second thing is you have to focus on where you're going, and you have to look at it every day. I used to do my goals for the year, put them in a folder and file them away.
I've had that experience.
Yeah. So what do you think happened at the end of the year? I'd go through and make goals for the next year, and I'd go through my files and go, well, look at here. There's some goals here. Who did this? Well, obviously I did. But if I didn't look at them, I wrote them down one time and I had a vague idea of them, but I didn't focus on them. You have to use your goals to give you an idea of what you're going to do every day. If you're focused on your goals, I have a client who focused on just that one idea, and she added $10,000 every month to her revenue just by focusing on that one thing. And she was part of my 7-figure club. So, there are lots of habits that we teach in the 7-figure club, but she focused on just that one and added income to her revenue. The third thing is, obviously, you have to take action on only the things that are going to get you where you're going. I mean, look at the folks who are successful, and you'll find they are really good at doing this. 95% of your time has to be devoted to achieving your goals, and, maybe 5% for errands and admin. So if you think about how you're spending your time on a daily basis, it's just a quick way that you can do something. I'm a little, I don't know, most entrepreneurs are probably a little ADD. So think about, focusing in 60-minute chunks of time. So for 45 minutes, you're going to be focused on the most important thing you can do to work and get closer to your goals today. And that other 15 minutes of the 60-minute hour, focus on returning emails, phone calls, bathroom break, get a drink of water, those kind of things. And then back at it for another 45 minutes and 15 minutes. So if you can think about chunks, you're much more focused on achieving the things that'll get you closer to your goals.
Wow. What should folks do with this information you've shared about creating 7-figure habits? I mean, you've shared a lot. We've compressed a lot into this brief period of time. And where should folks go from here?
Well, what I've learned is that if I listen to great information, go to conferences, read great books, and I do nothing, it's really just entertainment. So when I watch one of my favorite programs, which is The Mentalist, do I get up and when I'm done watching a segment and go, okay, let's see, what kind of action can I take? No, it's entertainment. But now when I read books, when I listen to great information, I approach it with a much different perspective. Because I'm a big fan. Yeah, really. I just treated that as entertainment, didn't I? Chet Holmes, who was an awesome author, businessman, mentor, said that it's not about doing 4,000 things. It's about doing a few things 1,000 or more times. So it's not about doing everything. It's about doing those few things that become habit that lead you to something.
You hit it dead on right there with the fact that a lot of us are so focused on quote unquote multitasking when the reality is multitasking doesn't serve us in any way, shape, or form for ourselves or for helping others. And I think that's just you have shared so much information that is so powerful. And Cheryl, please, before we go, please share. I know you've got some things in the works and you've got some amazing tools and resources. Where can people connect with you directly, and what's the best way? Please share that.
Well, actually, there's a website that you can go to where I've got some free videos that you can watch, give you some additional tips on how you can incorporate some easy seven-figure habits into your life right away. So the website is createmilliondollarhabits.com. So it's createmilliondollarhabits.com.
Perfect. Absolutely. We will also post that website so people can easily click and get right to you. I so appreciate that you taking the time to be here with us, Cheryl. Is there anything else that you'd like to share before we go?
The main thing, you can pay me back. Every one of you listening, you can pay me in terms of creating success for yourself, taking action, create that seven-figure business, pay it forward to someone else. So not only do you take action, but you pay it forward. That is the greatest reward I think Caryn and I could ever ask for, is that you actually take action on what you heard and learned today and then pay it forward.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree. I like to say to people, call me crazy, but I like to watch other people succeed and celebrate their successes and their wins.
I love it. Yes.
Cheryl, thank you so much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Coffee and Coaching with Caryn, and our guest today was Cheryl Cook, the CEO of Small Biz Big Results. Thank you so much.
You've been listening to Coffee and Coaching with Caryn.
Thank you so much for joining us. Tune in next time for more Coffee and Coaching with Caryn.
Until then, visit us at coffeeandcoachingradio.com.
Caryn Fitzgerald is an author, speaker, business strategist, and leadership coach. Connect with her at coffeeandcoachingradio.com.